Was it?
And Saturn, Marvin, and Sir Jimmy. Here's Albert. That's JB.
Okay, it's already 7 minutes and 21
Okay.
Busy kami rin. Pagbalik ko na overtime.
Yun may kabila ko eh. Yung right side hindi pa. Pare sa
It's not going? Yeah, rather than maybe, yeah. More than that happens. The 7 or 8.
Acidic yung isa.
Kuya, kat mo sa oras. 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Pakita mo yung oras.
7 minutes. Pakita mo daw sa oras.
8 minutes.
Yan, 8 minutes.
Okay, do we get to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's have 10 minutes, everything.
Thank you, Michael, setting that up for us.
Yes. 8 minutes. That's that.
But actually, it's only around 8 minutes.
So this room was the humble beginnings of the laboratory. From 1992 to 1996, this room was the laboratory. So we've grown quite a bit over time. What we mainly use this room for now is preparing samples for potency testing for minerals and for purity testing for heavy metals. And the way you do that is you digest the sample down to its elemental roots. So the way you do that is to boil it in acid. Historically, the traditional way of doing that was literally taking a beaker full of acid, putting it on a hot plate, and boiling the sample in acid. Of course, there are inherent dangers with doing that. Hot scalding acid's never fun, and you also have fumes that get produced. So now what we use is a microwave. So you see that tube that's going up into the ceiling, that's actually connected to a microwave oven that was developed for digesting samples. So we no longer have to boil acid on a hot plate. There's a temperature program in there, and the samples go in, and 45 minutes later, the samples are all digested, and all the fumes are evacuated out of the laboratories, and nobody's breathing the acid fumes. Once the samples are digested, they're tested on one of the 2 instruments that are in this room over here. Feel free to go in there.
Physics.
Right, these 2 instruments are called collectively coupled plasma spectrophotometers. They're set up a little bit differently. The one on the left the instrument on the right is an ICP with a fancy detector on it called a mass spectrometer. And what it can do is get very low detection limits. We primarily use that instrument for heavy metals, so for purity testing. We test arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury down to a detection limit of 10 parts per billion. So that's very, very low. There is a state. Very low level. We don't just have a specific product line for California. All of our products have to meet those specifications. So just for example, the specifications set by FDA for lead in products is 4 micrograms per product per day. California Proposition 65 sets it at half a microgram. So it's 8 times lower than what the FDA actually requires. So that's why we have a very expensive instrument for doing that kind of testing. These two instruments combined right here are $250,000 just in this room. So hoping it gives you an idea of the investment. We'll move out here into the hallway.
Let's go.
High-tech na high-tech ang product natin. Kaya talagang malakas sa benta.
I just wanted to mention, this room is far too small for us to go into, but in this room are a couple of gas chromatographs. One of them is used for residual solvent testing. So we follow the United States Pharmacopoeia method for residual solvents in our products. Residual solvents could get into products in a number of different ways. It could be from the synthesis of the actual compound, or it could be from an extract of a botanical plant. So a lot of times hot water or alcohol is used to extract all of the active ingredients in our botanical extracts. Sometimes things are done that are illegal, such as using solvents that are on the absolute no tolerance list on United States Pharmacopoeia. We have seen that in the past. One example was in turmeric. A number of years ago, some manufacturers were using 1,2-dichloroethane, which is a prohibited or illegal solvent for extracting botanicals. We found that they were using that to increase their yields. So we were able to detect that and keep those raw materials out of our supply chain. And then lastly, for the lab tour, we do have a full microbiological testing lab. We're not going to go into it, but there are some windows out here in the hallway where you can see what's going on in there. In that laboratory, we do a lot of the basic micro tests, such as standard plate count, so it's a measurement of biological cleanliness or microbiological cleanliness, yeast and mold, different pathogens like Staphylococcus, Salmonella, E. coli, just for example. Then we also do testing on all of our probiotic products as well. So we can enumerate and identify all the different probiotic strains. So with that, we'll go out here to the hallway, and if you want to take a look into the micro lab, we'll meet out in the warehouse here.
Micro.
Nandito kami.
Oops. It's a laboratory. Hi. Say hi.
Ah. Just time.
Oh, mga chemist friends.
We require that our mechanical suppliers, not just colors, we can do macroscopic. You see, they've got the plant up on the laptop there. We can actually evaluate it to look at the macroscopic qualities of the plant to verify its identity.
Dried leaves.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's good.
Parang bahalay na lang.
Oo. Ano yan?
Yeah, about
Guys, marijuana yan guys.
if it's already in powder form, sometimes we have a number.
Ayan ang ano, gulay-gulay at fruit. Fruits and vegetables.
Ano yung puno sa scientist? Ano siya? Ayan sila.
All right. And with that, that's pretty much the end of the tour, of the laboratory tour. So thank you very much. Anybody have any questions?
Question.
Yes.
Right after the best before date of C24, can we still use it? Consume it?
If it's before the,
Yeah.
yes.
No,
Oh,
after.
it's not going to be it's not going to harm you, be harmful in any way. It's just that the potency may drop off after that point. We do have a full stability testing program as well. I guess I didn't mention we have stability chambers up in our mezzanine where we perform the shelf life tests. So we follow the ICH guidelines where we test, I think it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 24 months, and 36 if we would go to a 3-year shelf life. So we do confirm that our products will meet the label claim at the end of the best by date. So, yep.
Question.
About the dark aging effect, when it's exposed in the air, about that, it is packaged in the foil in our product C24/7, and it creates dark spots. My question is, how does it affect in its potency?
From I don't think I understood your question.
You were saying that since our C24/7 product is in blister form,
Yes.
at times when it's exposed to heat, when you leave it in the car, and when you leave it in the car and it suffers some heat exposure, it has some dark spots. And what we usually say is don't take it anymore if it has dark spots.
If they're exposed to high heat,
Yes,
that's a possibility.
they're able to leave it in their car, probably for an hour in the parking lot. And if it's in the summertime, it's exposed to heat, then it's not as potent as we claim it would be.
It shouldn't be left in a hot car, I guess.
But no, it's still good to take.
There's no harm in taking it.
With yung potency there.
Yeah, that's the key word there, moisture. Heat and moisture.
Bad. Yep. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you to Brandon and Travis.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Heat and moisture.
All right, we'll go back into the training room. So straight ahead this way. All the way straight. All right.